we will talk about the difference between a multi-level queue and multi-level feedback queue. In multi-programming environment, it often happens that more than one processes compete for CPU resources at the same time. If only one CPU is available, choice has to be made between process to run next. Part of the operating system responsible for making the choice of process is called scheduler, and the algorithm it used is called scheduling algorithm. The objective of multi-programming is to maximize CPU utilization. Criteria like turnaround time, response time, waiting time, throughputs are suggested on basis of which scheduling algorithms are judged. There are many CPU scheduling algorithms, two of which are multi-level queue scheduling and multi-level feedback queue scheduling. What's the difference between multi-level queue and multi-level feedback queue? The first difference is the multi-level queue scheduling is queue scheduling algorithm in which ready queue is partitioned into several smaller queues, and processes are assigned permanently into these queues. The processes are divided on basis of their intrinsic characteristics such as memory size and priority. But in multi-level feedback queue scheduling, algorithm ready queue is partitioned into smaller queues on basis of CPU burst characteristics.
Welcome everyone. We will introduce now the most important match in the world. The champion will be the player who will be able to manage the process. Wish them good luck, please.
Hi. I am representing the queue of the foreground processes, like the input and output bound and the interactive processes, that have higher priority and should be finished quickly using round-robin algorithm. So it takes 80% of the CPU time in order to be executed. But if it takes much time, the process will be unluckily passed to the second player. So I will be the loser.
Hi. I am representing the queue of the background processes, like the antivirus scan, that have lower priority and use the first come first serve algorithm, using only 20% of the CPU time. So I will be the champion who will manage a process that will take a long time in order to be executed.
Now we are talking about the priority. The priority in multi-level queue scheduling. A multi-level queue with 5 queues is listed below according to order of priority. The priority is fixed in this algorithm. When all processes in one queue get executed completely, then only processes in other queue are executed. Thus, starvation can occur. The priority in multi-level feedback queue scheduling. When process enters queue, it is allowed to execute, and if it not completes in queue time, it is shifted to next queue. The priority for process is dynamic, as process is allowed to move between queue. A process taking longer time in lower priority queue can be shifted to higher priority queue and vice versa. It prevents starvation. Hi, I'm Fadi. Finally, we came to the end of the comparison between multi-level queue scheduling and multi-level feedback queue scheduling. So, here's a summary for the points of multi-level feedback queue scheduling. Since processes are allowed to move between queues, therefore it has high scheduling overhead and is flexible. Let's explain an example for multi-level feedback queue scheduling. Suppose that we have 5 processes to be executed and we will use 2 queues. Queue 1, a process is served in round robin for 1 second, and if the process doesn't complete, it's moved to queue 2, in which the process is served in first come first served. And that's what we have explained in this example.
In multi-level queue scheduling, since processes do not move between queues, it has low scheduling overhead and is inflexible. Here's queues we have, are listed according to its priority. We have 5 queues are listed from highest to lowest priority. So, here's queues we have are: System Processes Queue, Interactive Processes Queue, Interactive Editing Processes Queue, Batch Processes Queue, Student Processes Queue. Here, all queues have their own scheduling algorithm and process is chosen with highest priority. Then it is executed preemptive or non-preemptively. No process in lower priority queue can get executed until higher process queue are all empty. For example, if batch process queue is running and interactive process comes in ready state, batch process is preempted and interactive process is allowed to execute. Then the last processes are executed.